Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here, ZSPN. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, Kyle Kuzma, and trade situations when it comes down to certain scenarios for the Lakers to putting Kyle Kuzma on the trade block. And just want to give you guys my thoughts and my opinions about the type of scenarios where the Lakers may go with this particular, trade rumors about Kyle Kuzma being part of a trade scenario to get certain players to build around LeBron and Anthony Davis. Now, before I get into it, this season when it came to Kyle Kuzma's performance, guys, it was disappointing. Okay, let's just be honest here. I mean, after he won the championship, we all expected, Lakers Nation, including myself, were expecting that Kyle Kuzma was going to be that third guy, that top guy that's going to step up for the Los Angeles Lakers, average around like 15 to 20 points a game. And, it just wasn't the case. He averaged 12 points this season. And when it came down to it, guys, when Anthony Davis went down with that injury back in February, the expectations was that Kyle Kuzma was going to step in and fill in the role for Anthony Davis. And, it just wasn't the case. Players like Markieff Morris and, at one point, Montrezl Harrell were the two guys that really stepped up in that particular role when it came down to helping out LeBron and Anthony Davis. Just LeBron, really. And, before he went down with an injury, I believe, in April, somewhere around there. So, with that ankle sprain injury that he suffered in the Hawks game. And, when he went down, it was just another opportunity for Kyle Kuzma to step up. But that wasn't the case. Yeah, sure, we saw some games from him where I believe he averaged a 20-point game here and there. And then I believe he scored a season high around 30 points at one point. But, it just wasn't enough. And, just most of the time throughout this season, he was averaging around like 6 to 8 points a game. And that was just unacceptable. That was just not how a Laker, goes out and plays. I mean, even when it came to the playoffs, it was, it was very sad to see Kyle Kuzma perform the best, the way that he played in the playoffs, averaging around 2 points. And I believe at one point, I might be wrong, I think he scored a donut, 0 points, but, I might be mistaken. But last time I checked, I believe he scored 2 points at one series of the playoffs against the Phoenix Suns. So it kind of came to the decision, as I saw a couple of days ago when it came down to an NBA analyst just basically getting a quote from Rob Pelinka, was that Kyle Kuzma and the Los Angeles Lakers, there's some frustration, and especially, it's from the organizations, they are frustrated with Kyle Kuzma. And, it's just obvious. I mean, most Laker fans are a bit frustrated how Kyle Kuzma performed this season. And, Rob Pelinka, he put it out there that he is going to be on the trade block, and they're going to be accepting any sort of interest from certain teams. And there's going to be some teams out there that are going to be interested in Kyle Kuzma. But Rob Pelinka put it out there that he's not going to be cheap. He's not going to be cheap. I mean, Kyle Kuzma is going to be basically the best asset for the Los Angeles Lakers when it comes to any trade scenarios. And, it just seems that way. And it's obvious. I mean, it's going to be blasphemous if somehow, Rob Pelinka puts a trade out there and they get like a mediocre player and I'm not sure, maybe a second round pick or something like that. No, Rob Pelinka, he knows that whatever type of trade they will do, it's going to benefit LeBron and Anthony Davis in the long run. And, they're trying to, get some better talent to be around LeBron and Anthony Davis. And, they are just going to do whatever it takes to build a strong team around them. And, we need shooters, we need defenders, just any given cost. I mean, we need to build this team back into a championship contending team. And that's just the case now. And that's why, we see some rumors and some trade scenarios that come about. And, I have to say, guys, there are some trades out there that are like really good, realistic type of trade scenarios when it comes to a Kyle Kuzma type of package deal. I saw one that had to do with Russell Westbrook. It still remains to be seen about the Washington Wizards if they are going to trade Russell Westbrook, but still remains to be seen about that. There was like a scenario for like Kyle Kuzma, KCP, and I believe at one point there was either Montrezl Harrell, but we all know that he's leaving, so I don't know how you keep a guy who is not going to be with the team, and he just, how's that going to work? I don't get it. But if, in case that doesn't work, there is a THT. He can be part of the trade package and just throw in some first round picks, and then you can get somebody like a Russell Westbrook. And I think that's honestly the realistic type of scenario that the Lakers can do. Another scenario is, I believe the Detroit Pistons, if somehow they want to do a single trade, just trade Kyle Kuzma and, just obviously get like somebody like a Jeremy Grant and a possible pick part of the trade. And, because, Jeremy Grant, he's no scrub. I mean, he performed very well for the Detroit Pistons in his first year. And, I saw a glimpse from him in the playoffs when he was with the Denver Nuggets. I mean, playoff time when Jeremy Grant, if any given cost, if he will step up for your team when it comes to playoff time. And we witnessed that when we played against him in the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference back in 2020 in the bubble. So, it kind of seems that way, and I just think that the Lakers can do that type of scenario when it comes to that certain trade. Other trades, guys, I'm going to say this right now. I don't think a trade will happen when it comes to a Bradley Beal type of scenario or maybe a Damian Lillard. I think they're going to be asking for a lot more than what I'm suggesting when it comes to Kyle Kuzma and just certain players and some picks. I think they want more than what I'm suggesting, but I'm not going to rule it out. Maybe something will happen, but it still remains to be seen about that. There's also like a Zach LaVine, but I don't see it potentially happening. There's not a lot of rumored reports being out there about it, but that's an idea. Maybe something will happen in the offseason for that, but I don't really think that's going to happen. A Buddy Hield from the Sacramento Kings. That's another type of scenario where the Lakers could, make an easy type of trade with the Kings, and getting somebody like a Buddy Hield would be a good trade that could potentially happen. And I'm going to say this right now, guys. I was on, technically I wasn't on it, but I was in the comments section when the Lakers Nation was live doing a live stream, and I answered a comment from that particular YouTube stream from Lakers Nation's senior writer, Trevor Lane, and he answered one of my questions when it came to the Buddy Hield type of trade scenario. And, he agreed and then he disagreed about it. Like, he was kind of going back and forth about it. But, he really gave some good analysis when it came to the Lakers and the circumstances of them trading. And he really went into detail about the Lakers and potentially them having some better cap room in 2022, not 2021, 2022. But that all has to do with the Lakers when it comes to any sort of signees that they make in the free agency market. That's another type of scenario that plays a huge role in that particular front when it comes to cap-wise. But here's the clip, guys. I want to give you guys my thoughts and my opinions. Actually, I want to know your thoughts and your opinions. My mistake. Your thoughts and opinions about this clip that Trevor Lane gave when it came to my question about the Buddy Hield situation and sort of trade scenario. Check this out, guys.
ZSPN said, "Hey Trevor, Buddy Hield to the Lakers. Is that a possible trade scenario?" I don't think so. I mean, logistically, yes. In terms of making the math work, yeah, you can do it. But it's also a pretty big long-term commitment in terms of contract-wise, trying to get him. If you look at the Lakers' salary figures, they are, and this is crazy. After next season, and this might change based on what they do this offseason, but after next season, they're in a position where they could have just LeBron and AD on the books. KCP has a non-guaranteed or a partially non-guaranteed third year on his deal. Kyle Kuzma, his contract is very easily tradable. It would not take a lot for them to clear the books except for LeBron and AD. I'm just saying, I'm not saying they're going to go get a third star that offseason or whatever, but I'm saying they've set themselves up to have some money then. They're in a position where they could do that. Interesting to watch. And LeBron has already been in whose ear? Oh, Steph Curry. Already been in his ear. And he'll be a free agent that offseason. Again, most likely Curry re-signs with the Warriors. The Lakers add some contracts this year that go past that time anyway. Most likely that's not what plays out. But I'm just saying, at this moment, they've got the potential to clear the books and open up some space. Not this offseason, but the next one.
So yeah, when it came down to it, guys, Trevor Lane, he really gave some good feedback when it came to my particular question, and he actually went into detail about it, especially when it came to LeBron James recruiting Steph Curry. It still remains to be seen if it will happen, and you never know. He may sign an extension this year, or maybe not. You never know. So it still remains to be seen about the situation with him and the Golden State Warriors. But you never know. Things may happen when it comes to the Lakers and 2022. So remains to be seen about that. And, I just think that, I keep on bringing Bradley Beal in this conversation. I don't really think it will, and I'm going to say this right now, a Bradley Beal type of trade, maybe it will happen, but I won't bet money on it because, the Washington Wizards are so high on Bradley Beal as their top superstar on their team. So I'm just going to put that out there right now. I don't think a trade will happen, but you never know. The offseason, lots of things happen. So, but Buddy Hield, a type of trade would work, and I think it will fit very well for a type of trade scenario with the Lakers and the Kings making a trade happen. So just putting that out there. Hopefully it happens, but still remains to be seen about that. And then another trade scenario, guys, is the Boston Celtics. Now I know some of you are thinking, the Lakers and the Celtics making a trade. That's not going to happen. And I'm going to say this too. Yeah, it's not going to happen. But, their reports are being out there because of the circumstances and the type of tension between Kemba Walker and the Boston Celtics. And it sort of seems that they may make a trade happen in the offseason. But, still remains to be seen about that. But, the Lakers have been floated in the rumor mill about potentially making a trade happen between the Boston Celtics as concerns Kemba Walker. So you never know. A trade may happen, but, still remains to be seen about that. And I really won't bet money on it, but you never know. Things may happen in the offseason that will shock us all when it comes to, maybe a trade between the Lakers and the Boston Celtics for Kemba Walker. But, still remains to be seen. And, with the Lakers still having a situation with Dennis Schroeder, it kind of builds a type of an idea scenario of a Kemba Walker going to the Los Angeles Lakers. So I'm just putting things out there, guys. I'm not sure if it will happen, but, it will. It's something in the back burner for the Los Angeles Lakers to make some sort of trades. And it kind of seems like this offseason, the Lakers are more focused on making trades than doing a free agency type of signee. And as I mentioned in my couple of videos ago, the Lakers are kind of dealing with some cap issue when it comes to signing players this off season, and they're just they're being hard capped. I mean, they cannot spend a lot of money when it comes to free agency. I mean, for example, if somehow the Lakers have interest in DeMar DeRozan, the only way they can sign him is like somewhere around like a veteran minimum, or somewhere around like $7 to $10 million. Yeah, that's very, a problem type of scenario for the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, the Lakers are hard capped, and the only way they can make signees happen is somehow they will sign some players that are veteran minimums and maybe close to 5, 8, maybe $10 million around that range. And I might be mistaken, guys. Maybe the Lakers have more money. Maybe they'll go through the luxury tax, but it's just a whole type of different situation in that type of scenario if that comes to that. But we just have to see what not Frank Vogel, Rob Pelinka will do when it comes to that sort of off-season decision in free agency. And that's why I say trades are a top possibility for the Lakers to do when it comes to building a team around LeBron and Anthony Davis. And the Lakers can do anything. They can package a deal and get somebody that'll be a huge help for LeBron and Anthony Davis. I mentioned the names like Russell Westbrook, Zach LaVine, a Jeremy Grant, a Buddy Hield, maybe a Kemba Walker. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios the Lakers can do to make a trade happen that can help LeBron and Anthony Davis. But it still remains to be seen about that. And, as I mentioned in my couple of videos ago, the Lakers have the 22nd pick in this year's draft. So, they can attach that sort of trade scenario, put in Kyle Kuzma, KCP, the 22nd overall pick, and a couple of draft picks to make a trade happen. And I think they can. It's a type of scenario that they can pull off, but, it sort of depends on who they will target. So it's so early to tell, guys, and I'm just going to be keeping you guys up to date about everything that goes down when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers. And if anything does come up, make sure you'll be surely seeing a video very soon when it comes to that sort of instance and some sort of interests that the Lakers have in certain players. And I will deliver you all on this channel and all across social media sites. Please, guys, give me your thoughts about the Lakers and the type of trade scenarios that they will do with Kyle Kuzma being on the trade block. Do you think it's a good move by the Lakers to, just move on from Kyle Kuzma? Or are you like some other, people out there who are, Kyle Kuzma fans who think that, he has a bright future and all-star caliber, career in the making from Kyle Kuzma? Or because there are people out there, and I kind of feel what they're feeling, but at the same time, guys, it's a type of same old story that we've been seeing from Kyle Kuzma for these past couple of seasons. And his first and second year was like the best. But for some reason, he just really declined ever since LeBron and Anthony Davis joined the team. And I understand that he needed to adjust himself and, learn how to play with these players. But at the same time, guys, he's the type of guy that can give us 20 points again, as 20 points a game. And, it's just, he can do it. But for some reason, he just doesn't pull it off. And I just, really think that the Lakers are going to move on, and I actually agree with them. But at the same time, guys, I'll be surprised if he still remains with the Los Angeles Lakers. And that's the notion. I mean, if there's not a best trade scenario for the Lakers to pull off, then they should they should just keep Kyle Kuzma. I mean, they should not make a trade happen that's like the worst trade ever. It's just that's going to be something that we're going to see from the Los Angeles Lakers, and hopefully they just do their homework and somehow just pull a trade that will be beneficial for the Los Angeles Lakers. And hopefully Rob Pelinka does his homework and somehow just built the best team around LeBron James and Anthony Davis moving forward. And, hopefully the Lakers just have the mindset to just build this team to the best of their ability and, go into the offseason with some Mamba mentality and just, pull off a great offseason. Going into this offseason. So, guys, please comment down below, like, subscribe to the channel, share my videos all over Facebook, Twitter, all the good social media stuff. And, of course, guys, make sure to subscribe to the ZSPN podcast. It is on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Radio Public, Breaker, all of those great, podcast platforms. It is on all of those distributions. I really do appreciate the love and support you guys give me on my podcast and all across social media. ZSPN on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course on this channel, ZSPN on YouTube. I really do appreciate the love and support you guys give me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.